Hi everyone, welcome to Force Conversation, the new weekly show where two scruffy-looking nerf herders like to talk about Star Wars. My name's Jay Tank.
And I'm Colin Cofftree.
Thank you for joining
Welcome to
us.
Force Conversations.
Thank you for joining us. So, Colin, how are you doing?
I'm really good. Excellent. The Force is strong, Jay.
Excellent. So, what have we got this week in our first episode?
The first key story is obviously Rogue One tickets on sale in the UK.
Awesome.
Ha-ha.
Yeah. You got yours?
I got mine, mate. Got mine at half an hour after midnight.
Brilliant.
Odeon Cinema, IMAX 3D.
Excellent.
Super excited.
Excellent. Yep, I got mine as well. I've got 3 screenings. I've got the midnight screening, and I've got another one at 2 o'clock in the afternoon and another one at 8 p.m. So, 3 times on day one. I cannot wait.
That is dedication to a hokey old religion, if ever I've heard it.
Definitely. But I must say, I was about to go Kylo Ren that night because I was trying to get those tickets, and it got to 40 minutes past midnight, and Cineworld, they still hadn't put them online. View hadn't put them online. Odeon was there 20 minutes before. So, I was starting to lose my...
Yeah,
I was going dark side.
It was a stressful half an hour or so for me. I really wanted to go to the Cineworld 4DX showing, but I was just waiting for the listings to show up on the website. It just wasn't happening. So in the end, I just had to go with the Odeon 3D IMAX, which I was a bit gutted about, but I had to get the midnight showing because I had to go to work the next day. So,
but also, you've got to see it as soon as it comes out, right?
Well, yeah, exactly. Well, you would spoil it for me otherwise.
I would never spoil it for you. I would never spoil it. But if I couldn't go to midnight, I think I would have started crying. In fact, after all the hassle of trying to get the tickets, I still couldn't sleep. Like, I went to bed afterwards and I didn't sleep all night because it was just going around my head. I got myself so worked up that I was just lying there. I was just like, I had my eyes shut. Like, I'm not sleeping. What's going on? And it just went on all night until I had to get up for work. So I wasn't best pleased, let me just tell you.
Well, I was mega annoyed because I had to be up at 4:30 the next day, and I woke up and the tickets for the 4D showing was available when I woke up at 4:30. I was like, oh, never mind.
Yeah, well, we've got them. That's the main thing. So
yes.
we're going to see it, and in 3 weeks' time, we will watch the original trilogy very slightly differently because we all have an idea about what's going to happen or what happened. We've always had the idea because you see it in the opening scroll, but now we're going to know. Now we're going to see exactly what happened, right?
Yeah. I'll tell you what. I've just read Catalyst.
Oh, you
read Catalyst?
You finished it now?
Finished it. Yeah.
I am 8 chapters in.
I'll tell you what. It's brilliant. Brilliant, and I'm so glad I read it. I don't think you need to read it, before this. I don't think it's going to ruin the film for you.
Mm-hmm.
But I think if you've actually read it, then you'll get a much deeper understanding of the motivations between the main characters. Absolutely, you're going to really understand where they're coming from. Just the scope and scale of how long it actually took to build the Death Star. I mean, I did have my head scratching why it took 20 years to build it, but the book really sort of goes through those steps. And
do you feel
I thought it was really good.
It explains it in a way that makes you feel like, okay, yeah, it makes sense. It would take that long.
Absolutely, and I don't want to do a spoiler for it.
We don't want to spoil anything for people watching that haven't seen it, so that's fine. But I mean, where I'm at, it's an interesting story so far. It's quite cool getting to learn about the characters, and this isn't giving any spoilers away, but it starts years and years back during the
Clone Wars,
so,
which was a surprise to me. I didn't think it was going to. Yeah,
and so these characters were around at that time. I'm enjoying it so far. I'm a really slow reader. But I've got it on Audible, and I'm a really slow listener as well.
What? Do you listen to it on slow?
In slow motion, no. But, if I'm reading it on my own, I'm compelled to do all the voices while I'm reading it, right? So it just takes ages. And the book's fat.
It is, yeah. It's a
And
big book.
yeah, so I've been putting it on, as I go to bed. I stick the headphones on, listen to a chapter, and then I'll switch it off and go to sleep. And yeah, I'm enjoying it so far. But I mean, yeah, I haven't got through it yet. And I'm like that with a lot of the current books. I'm kind of like halfway through a couple of them, and then a new one comes. I'm like, oh well, I better start reading that one as well. And then I'm like, oh, I haven't finished that one yet. Yeah.
Well, we're going off topic, but I mean, have you read in all the new canon books? Then are you reading them?
I'm reading. I'm reading some of them, not all of them.
Mm-hmm.
The ones that I've got sitting here, which I started, like literally just started, is Lost Stars. I haven't finished that one yet.
I've got that to read. Yeah,
I read the first few when they came out. So Tarkin. What have we got there? Tarkin and A New Dawn.
The Lords of Sith. Did you read that one?
I think
I've
got like a couple of chapters left on that one, but it's all the way through. And then I put it down, then I start a new one because I do stupid things like that. But I read those, and then so many started coming out, and that's the thing that gets me because I'm like, as I said, I'm a really slow reader, so I start reading it, and I'm like, yeah, I've got time. And then it's like, this new one's come out. And I'm like, oh man, I've got to buy that. And then another one comes out, and I'm like, oh, by the way, there's 3 other like young reader ones coming out, which might be worth reading. And the one that I wasn't liking was I can't remember what it's called. It's the one with Luke Skywalker. It's
Heir to the Jedi.
It's the Jedi. Yeah, it's the Jedi. That one was kind of boring.
I listened to that one as an audio book, and I found it really good. 'Cause, Mark Thompson does the narrating, and he did a lot of the Legends Star Wars books, and he just does really great voices. I thought he brought a real sense of Luke Skywalker to the reading. So I mean, I don't know if that's a different experience than reading the book, but I really enjoyed listening to it.
Yeah. Okay, well, maybe I should give the audiobook a go. I mean, at the end of the day, these are the canon ones, so I am very much more interested in all the canon ones, as we were talking off camera before. But I was saying about the EU ones. I read some of those that were, they're good stories. Heir to the Empire, and I like the short books like the Tales from Jab's Cantina and Tales from Mos Eisley Cantina and all that kind of stuff. But I didn't read all of those, and it was kind of like, well, they're not actually canon, so meh.
Yeah. I've got to say, the best book out of the new canons, the ones I've enjoyed the most, was actually the book about Ventress from the Clone Wars.
I haven't
Dark
read
Disciple.
It yet. Yeah, I have it.
Fantastic, and a brilliant. I won't say exactly what happens, but it tells her story, and it's a brilliant ending to her story because I guess we're not going to get any other books about her.
I really liked Asajj Ventress as a character,
and so much more to her as well than what you get just from watching the Clone Wars. So, because she was on the original Clone Wars cartoon, wasn't she?
Oh yeah, on the old Samurai Jack one, yeah.
Yeah,
I don't
exactly.
Know what the artist is, but it's Samurai Jack. So, but okay, so this is again going slightly off topic, but it was actually something I was going to ask you because I watched Clone Wars, right? And
both versions? Or?
Yeah, both versions. But I wasn't a huge fan. Like, Clone Wars for me, when it was good, it could be really good. And we're talking like the new canon one, not the old one. It could be really good, but there were so many episodes that were just so boring. And I used to force myself to watch it. And the problem for me is, and this is just me, obviously I grew up with the original trilogy, from the time I was little, and I care less about the prequel characters. Not because I dislike the prequels. I like the prequels for what they are. Like, they're good stories and they are part of the canon. If I had to choose what I was going to put on, I'd put on the original trilogy. But with the Clone Wars cartoon, it's always a bit like, all right, let's watch some more of this.
I think with the Clone Wars cartoon, I think there was more good episodes than there were bad, and I think the episodes that were strongest were ones that actually were about the Clone Wars, were about just the Clone Wars fighting and the different battles, and the ones that actually carried the ongoing story arc across. Ahsoka was probably one of the most interesting new characters, I think, in the last. See, exact opposite. I think she's really interesting.
I like her more in Rebels.
Oh,
I didn't
absolutely.
like her as a
But
kid. I was like,
the thing is, the one thing that kept me going throughout the whole of Clone Wars was what happens to Ahsoka. That was the biggest question in my mind. Where does this character
I
go? And
wanted
so,
Anakin to kill her. I was like, I hope that Anakin like just kills her at some point. I hated her. I hated her, and it was only like once she came into Rebels, and I was like, oh god, here she is again. And then it was like, oh, actually, she's quite cool now. I liked her
yeah.
in
Well,
the new Rebel stories, but in the old Clone Wars ones, I was just like, oh my god, please, somebody kill her. You know.
well, when she was, I mean, obviously, over the Clone Wars cartoon, you see her grow up, and I can't remember what series it is. I think it's about series 4.
She was better.
They
towards the
change
end
the
than the
designs,
beginning.
don't they, and make
Yeah.
her look a bit older, and she definitely came into her own there, I think. But no, again, not surprisingly, the Clone Wars, the more rubbish episodes were the more kid ones. Like there was a couple of episodes like towards on the Lost series or whatever it was called, the last series, and you had that core storyline about the clones sort of starting to realise they had something in their head, and a couple of them were trying to cut it out, that kind of stuff. But then that was intercut with some really rubbish episodes with some droids doing some rubbish things, trying to escape a ship, and it's just like, okay, just tell the core story, man.
But there is another order that you should watch them in, isn't there? Because the Clone Wars wasn't actually shown in the correct order. So you know about this? Yeah. So there is another order to watch them. Look it up online, but you'll watch it differently if you watch it in that order.
I'll tell you what, the other thing,
but
talking about order, now I can't remember what it's called. What's the order thing with the different films?
The Machete order.
The Machete order, dude.
Yeah, off the top of my head,
what's your view on
remember.
That?
I haven't watched them in that order. Like
I
have. Bothered.
I watched them before Force Awakens comes out.
And in that order.
Yeah, and it's brilliant because you treat Phantom Menace and Attack of the Clone.
No, you drop Phantom Menace. You drop
Phantom Menace. That's it. And so you watch. Is
that right?
No, you watch 4, 5.
4, 5.
Then you go back to 2, 3, and then you watch 6.
Yeah.
And so 2 and 3 are almost like a flashback once you get the big reveal of Darth Vader being spoilers. Luke's dad in.
What? What do you mean?
Sorry, dude.
He's Luke's dad.
Yeah,
when did this come out?
It's Jay. It's the midichlorians.
So
I was just about to reenact that classic episode of Robot Chicken then when they just list all of the improbable things.
so you liked it in that order in the Machete
order?
It
was good. It worked. And to be fair, I did watch the Phantom Menace as well because I wanted to watch them all, but then I immediately regretted it after watching it. Yeah, the Darth Maul bit's brilliant, but the bit that really got me was when Liam Neeson grabs Jar Jar's tongue when they're all in the.
You know what kind of pisses me off though on the Phantom Menace, right? Is there's that bit. It's where Maul attacks them in the desert, right?
Oh yeah.
And Qui-Gon jumps up.
That bit was cool.
It's a cool piece, right? But in the book, Maul jumps up onto the platform, right, and he gets kicked off. But in the movie, Maul's getting up off the ground. So why didn't you put that bit in? Because it makes more sense, and that just upset me. Anyway, dude. So,
we have gone massively off topic here.
What's the next topic? Let's
the
get
next
back
topic.
On track.
Well, what about Emelia Clarke's casting in the new Han Solo movie? What do you think of that, buddy?
Right. So Emelia Clarke, Daenerys from Game of Thrones,
Mother of Dragons.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Breaker of chains.
Yeah.
Yeah. Look.
Show off Bush.
Very. Yeah. She does that a lot. Yeah. The thing with Emelia Clarke. Okay. Cool. They've cast her in it. She's good as Daenerys, right? We'll watch her.
Very good.
We'll like
amazing.
Daenerys. Yep. She gets naked a lot. We like that. But in other roles, and it's not necessarily her fault, but you've not seen her be amazing in other roles, right? She's probably very capable of acting the part. Depends on what they give her. Sometimes she's a bit too eyebrowy, like she's always like moving her eyebrows around, and it's like, dude, like tone it down a little bit. But yeah, let's see. She's nice to look at. She's good in Game of Thrones. Maybe she can do something good in this movie.
What did you think of her in Terminator as Sarah Connor?
Well, I don't mind that movie as much as some people really hate it. I particularly love the beginning bit, you know, where they go back to.
No, I like the film. Yeah, I like it.
But yeah, she was all right. I mean,
she wasn't Sarah Connor,
she
though,
wasn't
was she?
Sarah
To
Connor,
me,
and
she wasn't. She wasn't tough enough.
Lena Headey
Yeah.
was amazing.
Yeah, she was
in the Chronicles, right?
How come we've got 2 Sarah Connors in one program? It's crazy. I reckon. What's her face should get in it? Linda Hamilton. Let's get her in Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
She can be grandmother of dragons.
But no, I mean, in the new Han Solo one, they have the Creed star Tessa Thompson, Zoe Kravitz, and Naomi Scott were all up for a role as a female lead. Now people are going, "Oh, is Emelia Clarke replacing them, or is it going to be a different role?" Well, you know, I do believe that there's more than one woman in a Han Solo movie because he does like the women, yeah, let's wait and see. She's an actress. She could probably do the part, and it's not like exciting, but it's not horrible. I'm indifferent, but cool. They've cast someone nice. We've got more people in Han Solo.
Yeah, I think she's completely capable of being good. I think it all comes down to script and direction. So so I reckon so long as she is given a decent script and some good direction, I think she'll be absolutely fine. So I'm not bothered. I think she'll be good.
Yeah, she's a capable actress, and she just needs to have the right role. Daenerys works for her,
Yeah.
So yeah, let's see what happens.
Have you got any idea about who she's going to play? What was your guess?
I don't. I have no idea because this is, in Han Solo's past. It could be someone that they take from the expanded universe because they are, going to be taking characters from there. I do think that if they get Tessa Thompson or Zoe Kravitz, they're going to play. Well, they're not necessarily going to play, but in the Han Solo comic, he had I can't remember her name.
Yeah, the love interest. Yeah, what the name is. Yeah.
There's a good chance that they'll have them play that character. And also we get Lando Calrissian, Donald Glover, which I think he'll be brilliant.
Yeah, he will be brilliant. What I would like to see Emelia Clarke as is Lumpy Chewbacca's relation in full Chewbacca costume. They actually get her and just completely cover her in Chewbacca costume. Right? That'd be cool. Right, let's go on to the next bit of news, Jay.
Yeah.
There's one bit of news is obviously, and I think this was even talked about back at Celebration Europe. They're not going to have a crawl on Rogue One. Mm-hmm. So, what's your thoughts on that?
How do I feel about it?
Yeah.
I'm probably one of the few people that's like, cool, because most people are like, oh, you can't have Star Wars without a crawl. Well, look. You have the saga movies, and we're getting, a anthology, because they're anthologies, not Star Wars story, they're anthologies. We're getting an anthology movie every other year. Right? So, okay, the saga ones, you got that crawl. The anthology ones, they will find a way to do something cool. I think that they're not going to have, like, starring, blah, 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 at the beginning. Hey, it's Boba Fett. No, they're going to have, probably a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. And I think on this one, what will probably happen is it will come up, Rogue One, a Star Wars story, and then just go straight into the action. I reckon that's how they're going to do this. However, there was a really cool
Celebration. Did you see it when they did the when they showed the scroll of
for
A New Hope? Yeah,
and then it just
that was amazing.
That is what they should do.
Because obviously I was there at Celebration, Jay. I know you weren't.
Yeah, I was on my honeymoon. they booked it in for the time I went on my honeymoon.
But I mean, that was an amazing moment because you didn't know what was going to happen, and so the Star Wars fanfare comes up, the New Hope scroll starts coming. You're thinking, what's going on? When it just record scratches and the picture dissolves, and then
it tilts up,
just when it gets to Rebel spies. And amazing.
Yeah,
so, I'd love that to happen in the film. I think that'd be a brilliant start. It would make people understand what's going on. There's a lot of stuff on the internet saying, people get confused about where this film fits in and expect Rey to pop up and all this malarkey.
Okay, we're Star Wars fans, so we all know what's going on.
We are Star Wars fans.
I've heard, apparently, Joe Schmo down the road, he doesn't know what the hell's going on. He's like, why is Darth Vader in this movie? I thought he was dead. Look, maybe that is the case, but if it is, that would be a perfect way to explain it. To do the episode 4 scroll, gets to
I
that
think so.
point of it, and then just tilts up and fades away straight into the movie. Just like actually fades into Rogue One,
Yeah.
and then goes into it. That would be awesome.
The only thing I
Will
do
they
think
do
would be jarring if they're just going to keep a long time ago. Blah, 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 blah. I can't believe I don't even know what that is. What a
In a
loser.
galaxy far, far
But yeah,
away.
and then the Star Wars. Boom. If they're going to keep that, then go to some kind of rogue. It's going to be weird, isn't it?
I don't think they're going to have the music. I think that the music that they use, either this is going to start out, like I said, with the Rogue One. You've frozen again, dude. The Rogue One sign and straight into the action.
Yeah.
And if not, I think they'll do something like the Rebels music. They've got dun 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 dun, and then go into it. You know, it'll be something like that. You may notice that Colin has changed position. That's first episode technical difficulties. Now he's doing a Lobot impression.
As always. Okay. What were we saying, Jay, before that?
We were just saying about the opening crawl
on
Rogue One and how. So I think that they'll probably just do a little bit of music and go into it. I don't think that that they'll do the episode 4 thing. As much as that would be cool, I don't see them doing it in the cinema. I think it would be something short, straight into the action, make you forget that there's no crawl, and just get straight into it. What about you?
I reckon I reckon they are just going to get on with it, and it don't bother me.
No, I'm cool. Really, okay, that's really interesting because so many people are pissed off about this. So many people are like, oh my god, you can't have Star Wars Animals Crawl. Like, well, hey, it's not a saga movie.
You can say if it was a saga movie, I'd feel completely different.
Totally.
But
I found quite a number of films that are either in cinemas or coming out soon.
What? Yep, we're having technical difficulties. As you can tell, we're real professionals.
Yeah. Anyway, let's move on to our next topic, Jay.
Okay.
There's been a lot of speculation following a recent interview in Variety magazine, I believe, around what's going to happen beyond episode 9. Have you read those articles,
yes,
Jay?
the interview with Kathleen Kennedy.
Yeah, that's the one.
And it was about, well, this specific thing that we're talking about here is the possibility of the end of the Skywalker saga. You know what? It's one of those things. Are they just going to go on forever? You know, the talk was, will the Skywalker saga end, and then will it just be standalone movies from that point onwards? I doubt that it would just be standalone movies, because you'd get something like an Obi-Wan trilogy or something like that, right? Not necessarily that, but you might get Knights of the Old Republic or, you know, something along those lines. So you might get at some point a new set of movies, and they might change it from the Skywalker story to something else, because, you know, with this, how far are they going to go? You know, I can't really see it going on and on and on. You'll get to the end of episode 9, and depending on how they leave it there, they're either going to say, right, that's it, the story is complete, because it is meant to be a self-contained story, right? But, you know, then you'll get the same as what we've got now. Every other year, you've got your little anthology movie, and then they might go, hey, there's a Knights of the Old Republic trilogy coming, or something like that. And, you know, the Knights of the Old Republic is something that fans have wanted for a long time. People really want that. I think it would be quite cool to see a Game of Thrones type of TV series done like that, because, you know, Disney have got the money. It's not like they can't put funding into doing a really, really good TV show. And that would be great, because people could follow that along. But
I'd love to see something on Netflix.
Yeah.
That would be prime place. Yeah, exactly.
Disney are looking at buying Netflix, so it could happen. And then you get all the Star Wars movies on there as well, and all the Marvel movies. So,
and then a Star Wars Marvel crossover.
That should never, ever happen. Never. No. That
Star-Lord and Han Solo.
No. Nope.
No.
Nope. Not happening. Not ever. No.
Okay.
I do not want to see that. That would really, really piss me off if that happened. Just no, that can't happen.
Right. I just think I'd love to see Vader versus Doctor Doom. That would be cool.
Yeah, well, watch those what are they called? The Bat superhero beatdown,
Oh
Bat in the
yeah.
Sun. You can have a Darth Vader, Doctor Doom, Bat in the Sun. Awesome. The Darth Vader versus Batman was awesome. That was great. They did
Yeah, that
two
was
different
cool.
endings. Really
Yeah.
liked that. Let's go with that one. But in the actual movie verse, hell no. No.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, I can see where you're going with that.
Yeah, I'm
My
going with no.
my yeah. Okay. My view on the whole what happens after episode 9. I'm sort of torn, really. To be honest, I don't want Star Wars fatigue. I'm really concerned about every year Star Wars film coming out. It's just going to detract from what made them so great. To be honest, the anticipation was one of the biggest things about it, and particularly when we were kids and waiting for the Star Wars films to come out on video. Do you know what I mean? That would seem like millions of years, and
Yeah.
so we're mega spoiled at the moment. So one, I don't want saturation, but two, I also think. I mean, I said I loved the Legends books. I loved all the way from the Thrawn trilogy, all the way to the most recent Fate of the Jedi storylines, where you see, over 30, 40 years, the evolution of the Skywalker family and the Solo family, and all the different iterations from Jaina and Jason and Ben Skywalker and all that kind of thing. So I think there's plenty of mileage. If they go down that route, obviously with the new cast, evolve it. I'm not expecting them to keep dragging out Anthony Daniels every year, 'cause I think I'll probably have enough of him. But
do you think they'll do that? Do you think they'll keep on adding like a new Skywalker child to it and just keep on doing more saga stories?
I think they can do a saga with the core characters that come from the saga storyline. I don't think it necessarily needs to be a Skywalker. I mean, I don't think the Star Wars saga is completely reliant on a Skywalker family being in it. I mean, we have no idea. I mean, we'll talk about theories later, but we've no idea who Rey is and whether she's got any family down her and anything like that. But I'm not bothered. And also, I think it'll become, again, going back to that Robot Chicken skit when, it's improbable. There's only so many people that can be related,
Yeah.
and so, but you can still have a core Star Wars saga movie that tells the story, that moves the story along.
You do want the universe to get bigger rather than it's always people that know each other or somehow are connected to each other.
But that's the amazing thing about these one-off stories, isn't it? Because you can go anywhere, anytime in the entire Star Wars canon galaxy universe. However you want to frame it. So, as you said, I mean, I'd love to see something about the Old Republic, because it's an area I don't really know that much about. It's the one sort of main gap in my Star Wars knowledge. I've not really ever gone down that route. So, I'd love to. I've read a few of the Tales of the Jedi comics from Dark Horse, but apart from that, I've not really seen any. But I love the trailers for the BioWare games.
They're great,
aren't they? I don't need to play the game because those trailers.
I watch full CG movies of that.
Yeah,
totally.
Yeah,
right.
Absolutely, and like you said earlier, I love to see TV series. They were going to do the one set in the underworld of Coruscant, weren't they, and that kind of thing. So, anything, change it up. Doesn't always need to be a film. I mean, there's never going to be no Star Wars. We know that. Let's face it.
That's amazing. Like the fact that we live in a time where we are now getting stuff. I mean, because as you said, like when we were kids, we would wait years for another movie, and now
the gap between Jedi and those Thrawn books alone. That was the dark times. That's when I sold all my Star Wars stuff. You know what I mean? I sold it to get comics. What a loser! All my toys went.
Dude, no.
they were the Dark Ages. When it was all hokey old religions and sorcerers' ways.
But something you said there about Star Wars fatigue, and it's very possible if you consider that, Disney now own Marvel Studios, right? And now you get 3 Marvel movies a year. Is that right? 3? Yeah.
Yeah.
So, right, So it's very possible that you could be looking at Star Wars movies make money. It's all about money. Whatever happens, the most important thing is, do they make money? Yes, they do, right? So if one movie makes money a year, or how much would 2 movies make a year, right? It's very possible that you could be looking at, after episode 9, we can start getting 2 movies a year. Because let's say that is the end of like the main saga story. Well, they want to do a couple of stories. Well, let's say we go with Obi-Wan, and let's say they do an Obi-Wan trilogy. They'll want to use the actors sooner rather than later. They want to
before they die and get old,
right? So, or anything like that. They'll want to try and fit them in and be like, okay, well, if we do that story, we can like space that out and then fit another one in as well. So you could be looking at getting the original May slot, which was what they were originally doing. They have May and December. You could look at that actually becoming a thing where you'll have a movie in May and then a Christmas movie.
I've got to admit, I love having a Star Wars film out at Christmas every year. It's amazing.
Cool.
I love it.
Yeah.
I think it's
like
the
a present.
best timing. Yeah, it is.
Present, right?
I don't need an advent calendar. I have my Star Wars calendar now. You know, it's more exciting to count down to Star Wars film.
The one thing that I hate about it is the stress when I need to get tickets. But I love it. I love getting a Christmas present of a nice new Star Wars movie. I mean, I'm actually with episode 7. I was so excited because it's the first new Star Wars movie in ages. What was it, like 15 years or something like that? Yeah. But to be honest, from a story point of view, I feel like I'm more excited about Rogue One, because Rogue One is going back to my childhood Star Wars, the original Stormtroopers, Darth Vader, and that original story. And I feel a bit more excited about this film than I was with episode 7. Like, I prefer the look of the older characters compared to the iPhone Stormtroopers and stuff like that. But yeah, this one I'm like really excited for. I can't wait to see it.
Yeah,
it's not long now.
To be honest, I still think I was more excited about Force Awakens, but I think it was just the fact that we were going to see these characters that again we haven't seen in the films for 30 years, and to me that's what made it amazing. And I think that's something that I think will be lost if they do too many films in the saga, without a decent gap.
It'll become casual.
It was that need to see it, and also allow some progression to happen, because there's always going to be the comics, there's always going to be the books as well. So when they're not making films, they can fill the gaps. They can still make some money.
And they do. Yeah. I mean,
and
those comics, man. As I was saying to you earlier on, I've recently just stopped my subscription because it was getting to the point where I was buying all of them, and then a new one comes out, and then another new one, and another new one, and I'm like, come on, dude! Like, I know, like, you. Did
you complete the Vader run though?
Yeah, I completed the Darth Vader
that
run,
was amazing. I mean, that was bravo. I mean, that was an amazing storyline.
Annoyingly, like, while I was getting those, I was getting everything sent to me. So, I've got things like some of the Poe Dameron ones and some of the Han Solo ones, and you know what I mean. And it's just like I've got to stop. I got today, and I was like, I've got to stop, because otherwise this will just go on forever.
Yeah.
And that was just getting too painful for me. And also, again, being a slow reader, I'm behind, so I still haven't even caught up on them all. So I'm like, I've got to read these.
You need a commute like mine, mate. You're never behind with a commute like mine.
Dude, when I used to work in London, and I read so much because of sitting on the tube. I used to sit there and I just read tons of stuff. Nowadays, I just try and fit it in like when I can, and I just don't do that very well.
I feel your pain, man. I feel your pain.
Yeah, it's kind of painful. Yeah.
Okay, so are we finished with the news? You newsed out,
we're done with the news. Yeah. So what do? We had Emelia Clarke, we had the crawl, and we've done the following on from the saga.
Rogue One tickets.
Rogue One tickets.
We covered the big ones.
Important. Yeah.
We covered the big one. Well, I'd like to go to a new segment. It's all new.
It's all new.
This segment, Theory of the Week. Now, obviously, hopefully we're going to get some feedback anyway from this video. And I would more than welcome anyone who'd like to give us some names for these segments, because Theory of the Week isn't exactly the most exciting one. But I think each week maybe we could look at a theory that's you've seen on YouTube or something, and maybe see what we think on it. Would you you up for that, Jay?
That sounds awesome.
Okay. Well, the theory that I like the look of at the moment, and particularly is present in my mind because I just recently got the Force Awakens 3D box set.
Excellent.
Is Finn, and whether or not he is Force sensitive. Now, I've seen a couple of YouTube videos on this. I'll give some shout outs to the guys. The Stupendous Wave and Vincent Vendetta both done some really interesting YouTube videos based on.
We can add the
this
links
video.
at the bottom of this video.
We will
so people
certainly
can watch
add those links. And there's a particularly Vincent's video is about 13 minutes long. Lots of different reasons why he thinks Finn might be force sensitive. There's something to do with the numbers in his name, linking to some theory that George Lucas might have read once when he was 12 or something.
2187.
That's the one, bad boy. That's the one. There's stuff about his training and how easy he is about using the lightsabers. But the one thing that really made me think there's something in this, and again, it was me rewatching it with the 3D Force Awakens Blu-ray the other day, is when the Starkiller base shoots its weapon, Finn's about to get on that cargo ship, hears the screaming of the planets being destroyed before the weapon hits the planets, and actually that's what makes him turn around, hearing the screaming rather than seeing it. Now, to me, that was completely reminiscent of how Obi-Wan felt when Alderaan was destroyed, and obviously us hearing the scream. There's got to be something to that. What do you think?
Yeah, I think that with these kind of things, they put these little nuggets in there for you, don't they? They hide them in there, and it's quite likely that Finn is going to be at least force sensitive. Will he become a Jedi? That's a different story. Sure. But I think he'll probably be force sensitive. They've certainly made a point of always showing him with a lightsaber, and you know,
but
those
videos
as well.
For the promotion of Force Awakens and throwing us off the scent of Rey being the.
Well, the thing is, in the videos that you mentioned there, they did actually point something out, and as I watched it, because before that, I kind of didn't want him to have the Force, right? I wanted him to just be like an ex-stormtrooper. I'm going to put together a little squad here, and you're going to have Rey, who's got the Force, and then he's just like the dude who's, you know, good with a gun because he can actually hit things. But you know, you see the bit with Maz Kanata where she purposely gives him the lightsaber, and and then the little pointing out that they did where he specifically throws down his gun and goes for the lightsaber. He always chooses the lightsaber. It's all like almost like it talks to him. You know, it's Anakin and Luke's lightsaber, isn't it? So yeah, I mean, I think that it's quite likely that he is going to be force sensitive, and it's possible because Maz Kanata is obviously going to be in episode 8, and it's quite likely that she will start teaching. She could sense fear in him. You know, when she first met him, she looked at him and was like, "I can see in your eyes, you're scared. You want to run." I think that there was some connection. She knows the Force. They made that clear, and she went straight to Finn with that. I think you know, it could be the case that she's going to Rey's going to go off, be trained by Luke. Finn's going to be somewhere else, and he's still recovering. So at some point, I'm guessing he's going to run into Maz or someone like that. Yeah, it could be cool. You know, he's definitely getting fitter as well. If you see John Boyega, he's training. He's getting himself in real good shape now as well. And he did make some kind of comment about Finn not messing around anymore in the next movie, and he also commented on the fights not being so acrobatic, and kind of hinted that the new ones might be, which would sort of suggest that he's going to start learning some skills, you know. So yeah, I mean, I'd be cool with it. I like Finn. Finn's an awesome character. I love Finn. I was so happy with him when I watched the movie. I was like, yeah, man, like that guy. And on the flip side, I've always wanted Rey to turn dark, and there was one particular thing. A fan, did a picture of her all dark-sided with like a double-ended lightsaber, and I was like, oh hell yeah, that needs to happen. That would be so cool.
Jay, I was gonna suggest next week's theory would be the theory around Rey being Palpatine's granddaughter.
Oh, well, that's got to happen because I love that theory. So
I love that theory, and I love the thought of her going dark. So let's talk about that next week because I think that can connect to why Finn may or may not be a Jedi, and also the role Kylo will play.
Yeah, definitely. So what do you think of this? What do you think of Finn being a Force sensitive or actually trained to become a Jedi? What do you think?
To be honest, I'd be happy either way. To be honest, I think I can see the story going either way, and I think either way would be good. I think it's potentially too much that they're both Force sensitive, but equally it would be quite cool because that could explain what brought them together. I mean, their chemistry is amazing.
Oh yeah, totally.
I mean. And they're both fantastic characters. I echo what you're saying about Finn. John Boyega, he's an amazing actor, and he brings so much to the role, and genuinely seems to love what he's doing.
He loves it.
And Daisy just, her smile just completely, you can see that energy and enthusiasm she's got for it. Also, either of, I've got no problem either way it goes. If I had to have a preference, I love the Jedis. I mean, that's my favourite bit of Star Wars. So more Jedis, more fun. That's what I say.
Well, actually, I mean, it does look like it could be that you're going to get a new Jedi Order. Like it's the Force has awakened, the Force is coming back. And there was in those videos again. It was another really good point. It was the bit where Snoke says there's been an awakening. Have you felt it? And it was after.
Yeah, it was before Rey, wasn't it? Yeah.
And it is that scene where Kylo Ren is walking, and I love that. When I saw that in the cinema, where he's walking along and he just turns and stares at Finn, I was just like, oh my god, like that was just amazing. It was there's something creepy about it, and it was so good the way it's done.
I tell you what, I just want to say,
blast, oh man.
Force Awakens was such a brilliant film. I mean, I know it's had a few people moan about it, but I absolutely love it. I held it right up there with the original.
It was a great introduction to the new Star Wars movies for sure, and it had some really cool stuff in there. I mean, for example, what I just said there about Kylo Ren, he stops that laser blast. You've never seen someone do that before. You've never seen that in Star Wars before, and that I just loved it. I just lost my shit when that happened. Yeah. So.
It was cool. It was cool. All right, look, that's Theory of the Week. As I said, I think we've got a few ideas for maybe next week. But again, if anyone would like to make some suggestions or submit a theory, we'd be happy to talk about those. But and later on, we'll put in our details where you can get us. Forceconvo at gmail.com.
Forceconvo at gmail.com. Yep. And we've also got Twitter, which is Forceconvo on Twitter, and you can hashtag us with questions or suggestions if you just use a hashtag Forceconvo. But we'll put the details on the screen, and we'll also put our details on there.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. My next segment, Jay, I would like to present to you Star Wars Spotlight.
Dun, dun, dun.
Dun. So this is a bit when I thought, let's talk about the things we love about Star Wars. Let's pinpoint something each week that, why do we love this brilliant bloody thing? What's one of those things that got you really excited about it? So I thought I'd go first this week. And the thing that gets me, what really got me excited when I first got into Star Wars, the snow speeder.
So when you saw Empire.
Yeah. When I saw, well, to be honest, again, let's go back to my origins of Star Wars. I was born in '76, so I didn't see Star Wars when it first came out. My first exposure to Star Wars was seeing the double feature of Star Wars and Empire Strikes Back with my dad at the cinema.
Wow.
I must have been 5, possibly 4 or 5.
Excellent.
I think it affected my brain in quite a strong way. I don't know, I've been the same since. Blew my mind. And so immediately, that whole thing, all in one go in my brain, mashed up. But the most vivid thing, I think the two most vivid things that I always remember, that I can remember from being that age, was one, C-3PO, golden blimmin' head, popping up and down at the beginning of Star Wars, and the amazing scene on Hoth, the Hoth battle scene with Batats and the Snowspeeder. And, I love the Snowspeeder. I particularly love it because it was also the first Star Wars toy vehicle I got.
Excellent.
So,
do you still have it?
No.
You sold it,
one, all of it was knackered. I mean, I was not a careful kid. I played with my toys. Every single bit that could be broken was broken. Every bit that could come off was missing. I had this bit of wool for the harpoon gun because I'd lost the string within about a day. And this rubbish bit of green wool that I used to tie up my hat at. but what I particularly loved about the toy was it had this rubbish square button thing that you pressed, and the gun things would light up and make this weird rubbish noise, which sounded nothing like
the movie, right?
But because I was knackered my toy, the actual gun things didn't stick in properly. They sort of stuck out like that. And so the lights didn't even go through them. The lights just went all like, rubbish. But amazing. Other cool thing I'd like to say about it, 2 people in the same ship. You didn't get that on anything else.
It's better than an X-Wing.
That was amazing. That was so cool. You had the 2 little people dudes. You could put 2 cats in there.
But they screwed you as well. They sold like a Luke figure, but not Dak.
I know.
What the hell? How are you supposed to play properly? You just have to have 2 Lukes and pretend one of them's Dak. Is that what you did? Or you had like a Rebel soldier or something?
Well, to be honest, I didn't realise for ages that the Luke figure was Luke because he had that little visor bit, didn't he?
You thought he had black hair, didn't you?
I thought it was black hair. I thought, what's going on with this dude? I'm thinking, who is this loser? Why has Han Solo got a costume on? I was like, what's going on? So, yeah. Look, I'll show you this. This is from, I don't know how old this is. This is really old, and it's cool. The Star Wars Technical Journal, Volume 3. It's got some wicked, well, not wicked, look at them, they're a bit rubs. Lovely information all about the Snowspeeder. It's got a fire extinguisher in it, a non-skid service, targeting sensors, a toe pocket.
So did you say it's got a non-skid surface?
Yeah, non-skid.
That's what you need in the
steel
snow.
armour plating, repulsor unit housings. But, I think the key thing that made it stand out was that harpoon gun. That was a
cool-looking ship as well.
Yeah, it looked a little bit like Buck Rogers' ship, which was the only thing slight. But, again, look at this little bad boy. I've got this in the Star Wars Incredible cross-section. But,
yeah.
Look at that.
There you see it all.
That is totally wicked. You can see Dax. What's his name? Dax. Dak.
Yeah.
Yeah, he feels like he could take on the Empire all by himself, loser, but he couldn't. He got blown up straight away. What a loser.
Dak.
Oh. But Wedge saved the day, as always. Wedge, the unsung hero. So I'll give you a proper... These Snowspeeders, the proper name is an Incom T-47 Airspeeder. Did you know that, Jay?
I did not know it as an Incom T-47 Airspeeder.
Yeah, that's what it officially is.
But I did know that it's not always used just in the snow.
Yes, they're used in multiple environments. It was originally a civilian airspeeder, and they were converted into military craft. And those laser cannons were bolted on. They weren't in the normal configuration.
That's why yours kept falling off.
Yeah, they didn't bolt them on though. I bet it was that
bad engineers.
Rubbish.
It's those rebel engineers, man. You probably had like a spy in base and just screwed with your shit.
Well, there's a lot of stuff here, all the technical stuff. To be honest, I ain't bothered about that. What I think they were just cool. They were totally cool, and I love the toy. The AT-AT scene is probably the best thing ever.
What a great scene!
What an amazing scene!
What an amazing scene!
And so I would love to see more Snowspeeders in the future.
Well, maybe you'll see a new version of Snowspeeder in some of the new movies.
Or maybe an adapted one on Scarif.
Oh, it'd be a beach speeder.
Hovercraft.
Well, they wouldn't really need them; they just fly over the water. But yeah, you might get something like that. You certainly, well, you're going to get the hover tanks, and they're going to be the Imperial hover tanks, of course.
Well,
but,
like the ones from the Clone Wars, adapted like those.
I think them. Well, yeah, they're going to be they're more modern version because they're the original trilogy. So you've got the hover tank pilots. Have you seen those?
No, I haven't.
Do you want to see one?
Yes.
Well, if I can reach him from here, because I've got a headset on, so I can't necessarily.
I hope you're wearing trousers.
I am. For once. Here you go. That, if you can see him.
Oh, I have seen those bad boys at Star Wars Celebration that I went to.
There you go. Well, you saw the Scarif Troopers at Star Wars Celebration.
What are these then?
This is a hover tank pilot. You can see he has a very slightly different helmet. On the Scarif Troopers, they've got a black bit down the middle of their helmet.
I think you need to put him back a little bit further. He's gone a bit blurry.
It's probably because of the light, actually. Put him like that. You can see him better there.
Absolutely does nothing. So let's just take your word for it. That's an amazing
toy.
Very
cool. Actually, I'll just leave him here watching us while we do this. So yeah, you're going to see those guys. So there'll be Imperial hover tanks. I think that if anything, if you want to see the Rebel style snow speeder, you might see something in some of the new movies because, you know, Force Awakens did hit some of the beats of Episode 4. So it's quite likely that you're going to see little things that nod to the previous movies in these new ones, and you might get your wish. Maybe even a new version of the AT-AT. You know, what do the First Order have? They might have something adapted, because obviously you saw the TIE Fighters. They were slightly different.
They were cool.
So they were very cool, and they had 2 people in them.
They did, but was that a plot device?
Well, that's probably why they made them like that, yeah. But
did the
if you buy
original
the
TIE Fighters have? Could they fit 2 people?
I think the TIE bombers.
I probably should. I'll look in my one of my wonderful books later, and maybe
I think
that could be a spot. The TIE bomber is definitely good.
Yeah,
TIE bombers.
That was it. The Interceptor, the standard TIE Fighter, and that was 1 person.
Oh. Okay. Well, look, that's my spotlight. I hope you enjoyed it.
That was very cool.
And I'm sure next week, Jay, you'll want to tell us something that you love.
Yeah.
Any hints, or you're not sure yet?
Not at the moment. I mean, I could go on about, you know, when I was a kid and got into Star Wars and my first toys and that kind of stuff. But I'll look at something in the Star Wars universe that I love and why I love it and what it is about that I think is so cool. In fact, I'm ready to come up.
If anyone wants to... Oh, you do? Good.
It just came to me, yeah.
All right. Well, and as I said before, if anyone would like to make suggestions of things that they think that we could cover in Star Wars Spotlight, you know, they could tell us why they love it, and you know, you never know, we could even get somebody on and tell us their story, you know.
Yeah, we can have another person in the picture somehow.
Yeah, probably not knowing our system.
Do that, but whatever. But you know, if this show gets enough viewers, you know, maybe one day we'll all be sitting together. So that could be cool too.
Or we will have holograms.
Well, that is the ultimate goal.
That is the ultimate goal. Give us YouTube money. YouTube money.
What's the next topic, dude?
The next topic. Well,
or is there any other topics?
There is no other topics on my list apart from if there's anything you wanted to talk about that maybe wasn't Star Wars. Is there?
No, there was one other thing. It was Star Wars Rebels, and without giving away any spoilers, because
review time.
Yep, we just had Iron Legion, was it?
Iron Squadron. Iron
Squadron. That was the most recent episode of Rebels. So obviously there'll be no spoilers in here because some people may not have seen it yet. But I think that you liked this episode more than me. So let's go to you first on this one.
I thought it was totally sweet because one, amazing space battles, Star Destroyer shots. They look mega cool.
Okay.
2, the ship that the Iron Squadron flew around was very familiar. Definitely, I think it was used as by a different character in the old extended universe.
Well, you can say what that is. That's not a spoiler really, because it's been in pictures.
Well,
You
I
don't
don't
have
know.
to say. You don't. Do you want to say?
Was it Dash Randa?
Yes,
Randa?
there's the it was a Outrider class. It was the same type of ship as the Outrider. I don't think it actually was the Outrider because they never reference it by name. And also
I
characters.
really liked the character designs for the 3 kids that are in it.
Okay.
I know what you're going to be saying, and I will probably say the downside was the portrayal of one of the characters who was just very annoying.
Okay.
But I thought it was a fun episode and more entertaining than I thought. The episode before was boring.
The Mandalorians?
Yeah, I thought it was boring. Nothing happened.
I have opinions on that too.
And what else? The one before that wasn't that super exciting either.
Yeah, it's been a weird season so far, this one. Like, it's got some really good stuff in it, and it's got some not so good stuff in it too.
The good one, the highlight so far has been the episode with Wedge.
Oh, I loved that episode. That was such a good episode. That's what I want to see. Because, that's them actually forming the rebellion. You're like getting guys that are not feeling this Empire stuff. That's what we should be seeing.
Yeah, and I also like the episode with the battle droids.
Yeah, that was a pretty good episode as well. I actually thought I was going to hate that episode, and I actually came out of it going, I enjoyed that. It was fun.
Yeah. And the first episode of the series had a really... I thought it was going to be good, but then it wasn't.
That's a long time ago.
It was a bit of a letdown.
What one was that?
Yeah. It was when Ezra had the Sith holocron, was hiding it. I thought he was going to go dark side and a bit more... And that was going to be pursued a bit longer, and it was dealt with really quickly and not very satisfyingly.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, what did you think of the most recent episode? Sorry, Jay.
Well, with this episode, look, okay, we'll go for the good stuff. There was some Thrawn in it. That's good.
Yes,
Thrawn. And look,
the Blue Beauty.
I don't know that I like his voice.
Thrawn's voice.
Yeah, I don't think it's done very well because. Obviously you imagine a voice in a certain way, but in this, he sounds like he's almost falling asleep, right, when he talks. That could have been better. But still, we get Thrawn. That's cool. Okay. Yes, you're right. There were some nice shots of Star Destroyers. That was it for me. The rest of it, I didn't think that it was great space battles. It was stupid having the thing is, right, I don't want the Empire to be completely bumbling all the time. There's a bunch of kids, and these generals and that, they don't know what to do against them. That stuff just pisses me off, right? No, right? These kids, they should have just died, right? Or it was just, I don't know. It just, I was watching it and going, oh great, here's a bunch of kids that are going to take down the Empire. TIE fighters come at them. Yeah, that's no problem. We're kids. We can beat TIE fighters. Yeah, great. It's not like they were Jedi. It's not like they had force skills that allowed them, say Anakin. Okay, I can buy that because of who he is, but not with these ones. So that to me, I was watching it going, I'm not enjoying this. I watch it and I liked some stuff in there, but I didn't like the story overall. I thought it was very cool to see that type of ship. That was cool. Yeah, it was great. As soon as it came on screen, I was like, awesome. And then I saw who was flying it and who the crew were, and I was like, not awesome. I
get what you're saying. I think, I just enjoyed it for what it was.
This obviously, everyone's entitled to their opinion, and some people like stuff and other people don't like it. But there's certain things like that just bug me when I'm watching something, because for me, even if you had those kids and they were in a lot more trouble than they were, right? Like the TIE fighters and stuff like that were really causing them hassle, not like they were just flying around, cutting between them, shooting them out of the sky. Hey, we're going to blow up the Imperial, what were they, the frigates or something they were fighting there? Yeah, we're just going to blow one of those away, no problem. No, just no. I didn't like that. But this is, as you say, like there was some cool stuff in there that was good, and unfortunately, the next episode's got Hondo on it, and all right, whatever. But
he's not the best character, is he?
The first thing that annoyed me about Hondo, right? And
his rubbish name.
Basically, I sound like I hate all of this stuff, right? I don't. I like it. I do like it. I love it, right? But there are things, and they bug me. And Hondo's
It's because you love it, you get so upset.
I love it, yeah. So Hondo is a Weequay, right?
Yeah.
Okay. You've seen Return of the Jedi. What do their eyes look
I've seen
like?
that film.
What do their eyes look like? Not like his. They have those blacked out eyes, right? First thing that bugs me was that, right? And I just didn't like him as a character. I think he's stupid and
he was rubbish in the Clone Wars. He's even worse in Rebels.
Yeah, I don't want him around. Now there's another character. Feed him to Sarlacc. All right, let's get rid of this guy. But there's actually something that I had written down that was something that kind of tags on to Rebels as a point, and it was something that I wanted to ask you about, because one of the things that bugs me in Rebels, right? It's not something that bugs me just in Rebels. It's the amount of Jedi and Force users. And so you've got Kanan and you've got Ezra.
Yeah.
Now Ezra so far has done a lot more badass stuff than Luke ever did, right?
Yeah. So why is he not the hero of the rebellion?
Also, this is set just before
5 years before, isn't it?
Right, okay. And Luke is A New Hope, right? Well, okay, so these guys, I'm assuming that they're going to die. And if they do, they just died. So it's not like, oh man, we've been out of hope for years. We need a new one. No. Oh man, we lost those Jedi. We need a new one. Don't worry, I'm here. Like, it's literally going to be like that. And
yeah, but
right,
I think just because they're Jedi doesn't mean they're necessarily a hope, though. Do you know what I mean? Because there were a lot of Jedis a long time ago, and I think personally, Luke was different because he was a New Hope, because he's the one that was going to bring the cycle back and let Vader fulfill his prophecy.
But do you think these two will die? Do you think Kanan and Ezra are going to die?
Well, I think Ezra is Snoke.
Do you? Oh, I did actually think that for a while as well, and there have been some theories out there about that. Which I'd be cool with, because he can't be Snoke. He can't be Snoke.
Why not? Why not?
Because Snoke was around to see the Empire form and all of that. Like, he was there.
Well, he is there. Ezra's there.
No, but like way back during the Clone Wars, I don't think that Ezra was there.
Well, how do we know Snoke was there during the Clone Wars?
Because it's in the book.
Which book?
In The Force Awakens.
No, it isn't.
Yeah, is it not in that where he goes, I was around to see like the whole beginnings of the Empire and all that kind of shit? I'm sure there's
the beginnings of the Empire.
I don't think that Ezra was around to it. He was just on Lothal. He's just like kicking around being a little baby.
Yeah. Like, I mean, to be fair, he probably
seen all of that form, to know everything that's going on. He had to be old enough to know what was happening and to have actually witnessed it all. So for me, I'm like, okay.
Well, back to the original question. I definitely think Kanan's going to die, 100%.
Yeah, Kanan, I think will die.
But I also thought he was going to become that old blind Jedi from the Force Unleashed games.
Well,
that's what he looks like now, doesn't he?
But I suppose they do mix bits of all the EU in, don't they? So they could take stuff from it. And so you could get that. I don't know. It's just one of those things. I'm like, there's so many like Jedi kicking around still at this point.
Maybe Ezra will become Vader's apprentice, like Starkiller in the Force Unleashed games.
Well, and then be gone in time for A New Hope. And gone in time for Rogue One.
Well,
they could use the Thrawn thing, say he's somewhere else in the galaxy the whole time. Like, they could do that.
But I mean, I still think that there's the fact that they're not part of the same rebellion cell that we see in Rogue One and then in the New Hope means that they could just be in a different part of the galaxy. It's a bloody big galaxy.
It is a big galaxy, but I don't know. I just don't I just feel like it's like, oh, we're doing a show. We got to put some Jedi in there because otherwise no one's going to watch it.
But it would be rubs without some Jedi, to be fair.
Yeah, but
They would just get wiped out by Vader.
That's cool, but I just feel like they're a little bit too good in that case. They're proper badasses, and
the key, the thing to me is Ahsoka dead? If she's not, again, what's going to happen to her? Because she is badass.
We didn't see her die, did we?
No, I think
it was just like she's somewhere. Yeah, I don't
know if we're spoiling things here. I mean, that was the first episode, 6 weeks.
That was a while back, right? I mean, look, if you're watching this, then
the general rule is we won't spoil things within a week.
That's the new rule.
That's the rule.
It's a new show.
Actually, that was the rule from your Force Conversations Facebook page, Jay.
Oh, well, yes, that's right. In a week, really?
Yeah, you said a week. Okay. You said it's a week's notice of anything new.
That must have been a while back that I said that.
It was back last year, actually. This time last year.
Yeah, I just say stuff. So,
yeah, we've noticed. Anyway, Ray, Ray, I think it's probably time to wrap up that segment.
That's it.
Let's talk about feedback, and then I might go and see my wife.
Cool. Okay, well, we've got a email account and Twitter account for the show. So you've got Force Convo at Twitter. You can also message us by hashtagging Force Convo, and you can email us at forceconvo@gmail.com. And Colin, where can people find you online?
I am Captain Colin on Twitter, so at Captain Colin, if you want to talk to me there. Otherwise, that's probably the best place. Your Facebook group, I don't know if you're going to promote.
Yeah, the Facebook group for this, where this podcast actually started. Initially, the idea was that it was going to be a video podcast, and then I just made a Facebook group for it, and now 2 years later, we've decided to actually try doing this probably quite badly. But it's the first one, so whatever, man. But that group is Forced Conversations, and it's on Facebook, so come and join up, and we'd love to have you there. You're on Facebook? Are people allowed to message you on Facebook?
No, don't message me. If you're in the group, I'll talk to you. But apart from that, no.
And you can add me on Facebook at my name, JTank, or on Twitter you can find me at the JTank, which is the letter J and _tank. My surname TANK. And I think that's it. So thank you very much for joining us. The most important part of this conversation are you guys. So please leave comments below. Let us know what you liked, what you didn't like. If you have any suggestions, anything you'd like to hear us talk about.
Like the video, please. You know, we definitely want to get feedback. We want to know if you've enjoyed this. Like I say, it is brand new. We don't know. Things will probably change over the next couple of weeks as we hopefully get a bit better at this. We'll definitely take your views into account. So yeah, leave your comments. Make sure you like us.
We will read the comments.
Yeah, and hopefully we'll see you this time next week ish.
And share it on all the social media as well, please, because we need your help.
Oh yeah, make sure to spread the word. Tell your fellow Star Wars fans. As Jay said, this is just about having a geeky chat about Star Wars. We love it. We just want to talk about it. So we've got no other hidden agenda. Let's talk about Star Wars, and we want you to be part of that. So
and keep it friendly, and let's all just have a good time.
Yeah, have we got some kind of jazzy outro line, Jay, that you thought of?
No, I was just going to say until next time, may the Force be with you.
Classic.